Hello. Today, despite being in my living room still, because I'm not moving back until 2026, I have two planners. This is my 2025 one that is obviously nearly all done. And this is my beautiful, wonderful 2026 one. And if you like it, it's from a place called Box Clever Press. I am not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. I just think it's really pretty. And the inside is also really pretty. And let me show you more of the inside. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. And then they've got like these little plans pages. And then like a week looks like this. And then they've got like notes and trackers in the beginning and end and stuff. I've filled in a lot of this already. Like, for example, in the notes and lists bit in the back, I have already set up my, what is this? What are you doing? This is, I have also in the back of this one, which is where I keep track of what books I've worked on in each month. So every time I open a document that is a book document, I'll write into, well, here for 2026, what book I worked on as soon as I start working on it, so that I have an idea of how many projects I've worked on in a month and how long it's taken me to do things and whatnot, because of my great sticker chart data gathering experiment. And if you don't know what my great sticker chart data gathering experiment is, the quick version is for every 200 words of book, short story, and now rewrite, though not in the beginning. So rewrite is obviously because you redraft with books. I get a sticker. So I get a star sticker for book words and I get a heart sticker for short story words, by and large, generally speaking. Sometimes I run out of stickers and I have to use something else. That is all. I started that in 2024. I've done it all the way through 2025. The whole point of that is to gain an understanding of how long it takes me to write and how many words I write in a day or a month on average. I have learned it varies a lot, but it is solidly presenting a picture of how many words I can write in a year, which is actually more helpful anyway. The point of it is to be able to gather enough data to be able to start making reasonable goals and estimations about how long it takes me to write books. We're definitely gaining that data. I will talk about that more as my first video in 2026. So if you're interested, subscribe to stick around. Also, if you'd like to learn more about me, underneath that subscribe button is the description box where all of the links to find me and my books and everything you could ever want to know linked. They're all linked in there. So, today I want to talk about goals because I have some for the first time in 2 years, which is exciting. And the reason I have these goals is because I've started getting the data from this sticker chart experiment. And also because I have realised that having a 5-year plan or a 5-year goal does actually point you in a direction. It's like knowing you want to get to the castle and you can see the castle. And like, even if you meander off for a bit and then come back to it, you can always kind of see the castle in the distance. And I thought people were talking out of their butts when they said that. But I was wrong. And I'm not too proud to admit that. So in 2024, I made myself 5-year goals that are actually 4-year goals, but it sounds nicer when you say 5-year goals, that I wanted to achieve by 2028. Why 2028? Because 2028 is my 10-year wedding anniversary, and it's a nice, reliable, like, bastion. It's the castle, right? It's the castle I can measure against, because I know when that's going to happen. I know how far away it is. I know I'm not going to forget it, and I know I'm not going to get distracted from it, because it's an exciting, big milestone. And therefore, it's a nice thing to tie stuff into so that I know where it is. So, why have I not had goals for the last 2 years? We'll do that first, and then we'll talk about what my goals actually are. So why have I not had goals for the last 2 years? Well, in 2023, when I was moving from Scotland to England, because I live in England now, which is depressing, when I was moving from Scotland to England, my cat, Ayla, that cat, because I now have 2 cats, my cat, Ayla, decided that she was so stressed out. Well, she didn't decide. She got so stressed out by it that she peed in the bag that had all of my work stuff in it, which included my planner with my goals in. And I just did not bother to copy those across because I was not paying attention to them. I wasn't doing anything to do with those. And for the entirety of 2023, I basically just didn't have a plan or a planner or anything like that. And I brought out 3 books in that time. So, you know. And then in 2024, I decided I was going to do the sticker chart experiment. And I decided because I was doing the experiment that the whole goal for 2024 and the whole goal for 2025 was just to do this experiment. But then I sort of felt like that wasn't necessarily reasonable. So I built these 5-year goals that are actually 4-year goals. The other reason that I haven't been doing goals is because I was doing goals wrong. So, what do I mean by that? The way I was taught to do goals in school was SMART goals. And I'll be honest, what I was actually taught was, this is what a SMART goal is, do that. Not, this is how you build a SMART goal. Like, and the amount of time subsequent to that, where people have been there to me like, build a SMART goal. Do you know what a SMART goal is? And I'm like, I know what a SMART goal is. What I don't know is how to build a SMART goal. And then people tell me what a SMART goal is. And it's like, okay. It's like the best analogy I have for this right now off the top of my head, because I always use baking analogies, and we're going to do another one of those. I often use baking analogies. Sometimes I use exercise analogies, which is weirder. But basically, it's the same thing as I want to bake a cake, right? That's the goal. And I'm like, cool, I would really love to bake a cake. Can you tell me how to bake a cake? And what people tell me is a cake is a baked product. It's got a crumbly texture and it's quite sweet. Sometimes it's covered in icing or fondant. Sometimes it has decorations. And it's like, I know what a cake is. How do you make it? A cake is a baked good. And it's like, what ingredients do you need? Well, it's a baked good. I'm going to shake you until sense falls into your head. I don't actually do that to people. I just want to. So when that's been your experience of how do I make a goal is, it makes it very difficult to figure out how to do a goal. And I feel like maybe I'm really late to the party with a lot of stuff. Like, to the extent that I make a joke out of it quite a lot of the time. Like, I literally call myself late to the party because I end up realising a lot of things quite a lot later than my peers do. And then, like, I say things to my friends where I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just realised this. And people are like, did you not know that already? And I'm like, nope, I didn't. And to be fair, my friends who are there like, okay, cool. Well, I'm really happy for you then. Because they're nice people. But I have also had colleagues who are kind of condescending about it, where they're like, how did you not know that? And it's like, well, there's no such thing. The reason it's called common sense is because it is common, right? Lots of people have it, but it doesn't mean that everybody has it or that it's some kind of innate thing. Like, people have to learn things. Everybody learns the thing that you think of as common sense. It just happens to be that some people learn it very young and some people learn it very old. That's just how life works. So anyway, what I didn't understand about SMART goals, and I am going to share this because if anybody's in my position, I'd rather they weren't. I'd rather offer this information for anyone who doesn't know it than just sit here and be there like, I now know the information. So the way that you build a goal is you have to understand. You have to have the data, right? It's like, even if you had the layout for like the instructions for how to bake a cake, you still need an ingredients list, right? And I feel like the data is the ingredients list. So even if somebody had given me more than a SMART goal is strategic and measurable, achievable, and timed. I can't remember what R is, I'm so sorry. I should have looked that up. But I didn't. So Like, even if it's not that, a cake is a baked good thing. Even if it's like, okay, well, this is how you put it together. You start with, you add your sugar and your butter to a bowl and you cream them together, and it's like, okay, so I need sugar and butter. Then you add your eggs. Okay, I need eggs. How many eggs do I need? How much weight of butter and sugar? Like, these are all, like, those are the pieces of data that you're lacking, that you potentially are lacking, that you need before you can start following the instructions on how to do it. And these are pieces that I have been lacking my entire life. I've never had the ingredients list. And this is what I figured out recently, is that that's what I was lacking, and that's what other people just have. So ingredients list wise, basically what you need is an understanding of what is achievable for you, what is a time in which you can achieve that, and like, those are the two big things. Those are the big ones, right? So over the last 2 years, while I've been doing this sticker chart experiment, I have been literally gathering that data. That is a whole huge part of what's going on here, is I have been literally gathering that specific data. And I'll admit, even in my 2022 goals, I was aware of the fact that I didn't know how long it took me to do things. And what was an achievable goal, other than basing it entirely and completely on things I had already achieved. So pretty much all of my goals in 2022 and 2023 were centered around maintenance, like a maintenance goal. And I do think a maintenance goal is a good thing. I have 3.5 of them in my goals for 2026. 3.5 maintenance goals. What's a half goal? We'll get to that. And I think that actually a lot of people miss out on their maintenance goals, and they kind of scupper themselves potentially by doing so. Like, a lot of people have the thing where they're not aware. You get used to, right? You get used to what you can do. Like, I saw someone the other day talking about how they've started introducing like short stories into their repertoire of stuff. So they've been writing books for a while, and now they're introducing short stories, and they're entering like short story anthologies or competitions or something like that. I can't exactly remember. It was a while ago. I didn't realize I was going to use this anecdote until just now. And they were like, it's really difficult actually to do these short stories. My gosh, I'm struggling so hard with writing these short stories. Like, they're trying to write like 2 or 3 short stories a year. And I was like, what? How is that hard? Not in a condescending way. I didn't say this to the person. I thought that internally to myself. And then I was like, provide your own context, which is, I share short stories every single week on nopoodles.wordpress.com, and if you would like to read them, the link is in the description box below. I share 48 short stories a year, minimum. So maybe it's not fair to forget that other people don't have that experience, right? And that's the thing that we all do. We get used to our own capabilities, so we kind of forget that A, other people don't have those, and B, we actually had to work quite hard to get to that point. Like, I can write 48 short stories a year easy now. Back when I first started in 2017, I could not write a short story every other week. And like, so I think that that's one of those things where you forget that that still is effort, right? Even if it feels easy now, you are still exerting effort on it. And if it's still a priority, it should still be a goal. And like, the number doesn't have to go up for it to be a goal. So one of my goals is to maintain my 48 short stories a year. That is kind of a broad goal in a lot of ways, because it does include any other post I post to nopoodles.wordpress.com. It's more 48 nopoodles.wordpress.com posts, but I didn't want to call it that because it is my short story blog, and the main thing I do is short stories there. So, and I, for the last 2 years, have done a lot more than 48 short stories, because I have done events like OC Kiss Week and Wumptober and Wumprel. So there's malleability there, but the goal is to maintain the 48 short stories, because that gives me 4 weeks off a year. That's just maths. 4 weeks off every year. So it's every week except for like 2 weeks in December where I take my birthday to holiday break, and 2 other weeks within the year where I get to take another holiday. And like a lot of the time I will take other holidays around that. So I have built in the idea that I'm going to do at least one kind of excess event compared to like the standard every week. So there's malleability here. But I think having the goal to maintain that is important to me because it is a priority for me. I really do like sharing the short stories. It is something that I enjoy. It's something that I find valuable. It's something that I know other people enjoy. It's something that does bring in readers, which is obviously a goal. So I'm putting down the maintenance of that. And if I exceed it, then great. And if I achieve it, then great. Say if I only achieve it, that's not what I mean. If I achieve it, then great. And if I don't quite reach it, then okay, what happened? Then it's not failure, it's how did this come to be? What happened that made this not possible? And that's the other thing, is I'm never going to approach this with like guilt, shame, blame, any of that kind of stuff. It's always going to be, right, okay, so what happened here? Really open curiosity. What is it that prevented this goal from happening? Another maintenance goal I have doesn't sound like maintenance because it's to release at least one book in 2026. And it doesn't sound like maintenance because what do you mean releasing a book is like maintaining a thing? But except for 2022, I have released at least one book a year, and I would like to continue doing so for the rest of time. And it's what I've got technically written down in my goals thing is 1+ books. So the goal is to release one book and also potentially to have a second book also. Then I also have maintain a YouTube video every other week. I am aware that this goal is kind of complicated because I do have a break planned halfway through the year, and that is not going to allow for, well, it is going to allow for doing a YouTube video every other week if I pre-schedule it, which is not a guarantee. So that may not happen, and I'm okay with that because I've already built in that expectation. Then we finally get to my half goal, right? What's a half goal? The half goal is maintain or improve. So that's why it's only half maintain. It's a full goal, but the goal is maintain or improve. How is that the goal? Because there is flexibility there, right? I have intentionally built in a lot of flexibility. Because I need it. Because of who I am, because of how my life works, because I have a chronic illness. Flexibility is like vital. So maintaining and improving it's also because the maintenance part it's to do with social media. So it's maintain or improve social media strategy. The maintain is I'm doing a good job of posting to social media regularly, right? I have a schedule. I'm quite good at sticking to it, more or less. The improve is to go back to being more strategic about it. So in 2022 and 2023 and 2024, I had a social media plan, right? I made a plan at the beginning of every month and I stuck to the plan more or less every month. In 2025, the planner that I was using to build my social media plan, they stopped making it. So I couldn't get it. So I tried a different planner. Did not work. Also, to be fair, 2025 has not been my year. It's been a rough one. So between those two things, the strategy kind of flew out the window, which is why I don't have much of a release hype about unlicensed travel. But, you know, I did my best. And I did continue to post mostly regularly. I stuck to my schedule, which is still a win, in my opinion. Although lots of people have lots of different opinions about that. So I guess it depends on what your focus is, and I guess it depends also a little bit like there's a lot of different pieces involved in this whole conversation. But basically, I think I appreciate the fact that I maintained my schedule even if I didn't work on it with a massive amount of strategy. I would like to increase my level of strategy for 2026. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, so this is going to be a really challenging goal. I'm excited for it. Then finally, my final goal, other than write, which is also in one of these boxes because that is always the goal, but it's a very non-specific goal. Like if I pitched that to someone who is asking me for smart targets, I would not be able to smart target it. The other ones, I feel like you could fit them into a smart target format because they're timed in the form of it's within the year of 2026. They are measurable because there's numbers involved. The improved social media strategy is measurable in the form of, do you have a plan and did you stick to it? Which is not necessarily numbers, but it is still measurable because you can see if you had a plan and you can see if you stuck to it. And then, like, so I feel like they're whatever. I can't remember what R is. It's driving me nuts. So yeah, I feel like they're all within that. They could be wrangled into that smart target format if you really wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but you could. Whereas write is a very wishy-washy goal, and it's quite wishy-washy on purpose because I don't want to set too harsh a goal on it, because the harsher the goal is, the harder it is to achieve, and the harder it is to achieve, the less likely I am to do it. The less likely I am to write is bad because this is my job. But then finally I have a begin goal, a brand new goal, the final goal on my list of goals. Begin for yearly, so for inside the year of 26. The year of 26? Short stories for my mailing list. So back in the beginning of my mailing list, back in 2021, I shared lots of short stories, kind of randomly. I shared short stories about the Guardian Cadet world. I shared short stories about the pirate world in 2024 as part of my release thing that I had a whole plan. I shared, I'm sure I must have shared IPA stories to it as well. I don't think I shared any Welcome to Humanity stories. Welcome to Humanity is very enclosed. Anyway, and then for 2025, I just didn't at all. I think I shared one short story ahead of time, and that was it. And even that, it was, I shared it ahead of time, but it still got posted on opendoors@wordpress.com like pretty soon after. And no regrets, no shame, no blame. I would like to do differently in 2026. I would like to share 4 short stories specifically to my mailing list that are only for my mailing list, at least in 2026, across the year. And it would be very easy to split that into quarters, right? Do one in March, do one in July, do one in March, do one in June. That was a dyslexia. Do one in September, do one in December. I don't think I'm going to hold to that. Is it? Is that the right? Is that how quarters work? March, June, September, December. Yes. I can literally look at it. And I didn't. That's the dyslexia also. Like, it would be very easy to do it like that because that's how the year works out. Quarters are nice. There are going to be 4. But I probably won't do it like that. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it works out. But like, September's an odd one if I decide to do one per all, and depending on whether I bring out the book I want to bring out in 2026, when I want to bring it out in 2026 or not. I won't know that until probably March anyway. So just roll with me. We're going to figure this out together. But yes, I will actually be sharing 4 short stories. I will be aiming to share 4 short stories at some point spread over 2026, specifically to my mailing list. They are probably going to be book-related short stories, so set in my book universes, but I'm not guaranteeing that. They might be other short stories. They might just be for funsies. They might be for universes we haven't been to yet, and characters you haven't met yet, and it'll be an exciting way to introduce you to stuff that I haven't announced anywhere else, because the whole point is the exclusivity, right? And so, yeah, I'm going to try and do that. And I hope you will come with me on this journey. And if you would like to sign up to be part of this whole dealio, there is a link to my mailing list in the description box below, right next to the like and subscribe buttons. If this has been the video that made you feel like sticking around, maybe you want to keep an eye on me and my goals. I will also try This is me making a promise that I may not hold to. So for the last 2 years, 2024 and 2025, while I've been doing this whole sticker chart thing, I have shared a 6-month update-ish for my sticker chart. Like, I start at the beginning of the year with what am I doing with my sticker chart this year, and what is the plan, how does it work, what conclusions can I come to from last year, that kind of stuff. How many words did I write in 2025? For example, is going to be my 2026 one probably. That was how many words did I write in 2024 was. And I usually, so far, I have done a 6-month update in 2024 and 2025. So I will try and do a 6-month update in 2026 also. And I will try and put the update about my goals in that if I remember. I'm not good at remembering things, so I make you no promises. If anyone would like in 6 months, well, not 6 months from now, but to be fair, 6 months from now would work too. If anyone would like to remind me in about 6 or 7 months, so like June, July, August 2026, that I'm supposed to be updating you guys about my goals for 2026, I would very much welcome that. Message me, email me, whatever way you want to do it. Leave a comment on this video because I'll get a notification about it. Whatever way you want to do it, just remind me casually if you feel like it and you remember, because then I might remember. I'll just be slightly more likely to remember that I promised this. Well, that I theoretically offered this. It's not so much a promise because I can't guarantee I'm going to do it, but I can try. Anyway, that is everything I have for you. Those are all my goals. 48 short stories, release at least 1 book, maintain a YouTube video every other week, improve my social media strategy, begin writing 4 short stories that I share to my mailing list every year, and of course, write. I will see you in 2 weeks' time with another video that I have been sitting on since September. Or possibly I will do another other video and bump that into December, because it would be very funny for that to be my last video of the year because it's about endings. Anyway, either way, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.